It's my pleasure to introduce Roei.
Thank you very much.
Who's from Gingee. I don't know how many people were here for the panel we had earlier, and Gingee stood up to itself very, very, very proudly against the other game. So have fun, talk to us about what you have,
Sure.
how to do a go cross-platform and stay alive.
Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure to see you still here this late hour. I'm going to discuss Gingee as a personal story, our personal story, and how the platform that we build helped us to achieve what we are currently doing. So the topic is going cross and stay alive, and this is exactly what we needed to do. I'm going to discuss a little bit about the numbers, which all of you are knowing, but when you see that 11K different devices of Android as a number, it's staggering. It's too much to bear as a developer. So my point of view here as a developer is that I want to be everywhere, and this is unbearable barrier for me. So we came from social. Social was a fantastic time for us as a developers. We developed games for Facebook. We were very successful. We knew one platform, and we were there. Very easy. Success or failure based on the product and based on one platform. When mobile emerged, we want, of course, naturally to move to mobile and be in Facebook as well. So we developed games trying, of course, using the same techniques, realizing this is a bigger challenge, more than that's we anticipated. So it took us 2.5 years to develop an engine that's actually going to do that for us. I'm not going to get into other solutions that we tried, but in the end of the day, we needed a solution that does one thing, and one thing alone. So we needed one code, one resources, one graphics to rule them all. And that's exactly what we needed. If you take a look at the slide, the right side is the business part of things. Live or die by picking the market. I think we discussed that back in Casual Connect in Kiev. The fact that I actually need to pick which device is going to make this magic happen, the game successful, and therefore me, is something that makes my life as a developer unpredictable in a sense. I want to make it as linear as possible. So picking a market is dangerous to my ROI, therefore I would try to avoid it as soon as possible. And I don't want to have longer time to market. So the other way around is go native and say, let's say I want to be everywhere. I'm going native. I'm not going to pick my own market. So I'm creating elements to each of the phones themselves, the tablets, each one of them, and trying to make it reasonable time to market. That doesn't work as well as you probably know. And from a developer perspective and from a CTO perspective, I don't want to have multiple teams creating multiple UIs, multiple sources of code, and try to manage not only the product itself, which is a mission by itself, and some CTOs in the crowd probably know that. I don't want to have updates that will take so much time to get the updates out and rolling. We probably will not make it a successful later on engagement, which I need. So after I'm done with this and I'm already updated my progress, I don't want to do endless optimization. I want one code, one pipeline, one graphics, no optimization. And this is exactly what we needed to achieve. So I will introduce you guys to Gingee, the true cross-platform solution from Gingee. We developed this engine for the past 2.5 years, as I just said. It's including two main features. One of them is the IDE, which is very comfortable for designers, product managers to create products. The second part is, of course, the SDK, the engine itself, who can run it. And the one thing we need is IDE plus SDK equals devices out there. So we needed to be everywhere, and the SDK as the engine to publish it. So if you take into account the two major facts that make a product viable today is the performance, the fact that it actually needs to run as good as it could be, smooth, and the UI. So we need the user experience, UX, and we need a performance, which will be equal in all devices. This is very important for us, and this is what we needed to achieve. And our solution does that exactly. So everything you're going to see around here is based on these 2 points. The rest is just added value that we believe it's important, but not as important on this. So let's talk a little bit about UI problems in just in a few seconds, because I know all of you probably know that. Resizing, scale, and crop doesn't work, guys. Letterboxing, trying to scratch, and it doesn't work. It's just distort and make black margins all over the place. And this is something that we cannot work with. as a developer. So you need to choose actually which device is going to run smoothly on, and then you're trying to adjust the others, which it doesn't, for us, it's not the solution. So what we came up with is something we call Liquid UI, which some of you have been in the last panel here. We discussed about it a little bit. And it's seeing is believing in my eyes. But if you take into account the former presentation, everyone regards the screen as a canvas. So everything, all the game is one canvas. It's like taking a full application and create a page out of it. That's not the way application/game is created. There is elements inside. So Liquid UI actually enable you to do the most important stuff. Keep proportions, guys, between objects, not between scaling and canvases, just between objects. And you can see what there is the result. So what we're showing here is, I'm going to remove that, just a demo that we have. There's plenty of them in our site. And it's very simple. I want you to take a look on the different devices. So we have iPhone 5 versus Android versus tablets versus Retina versus all sorts of other devices. So everything is liquid. And it looks the same. And it's not 100% the same. It's only 95% the same. But it looks as if it was built directly to this device. And this is very important. The second part, which I want you to look at, is not only that it's enable you to be in mobile, like the most urgent needs, it's actually going to be able to do that on desktop as well. I'm sorry for the sound because I'm speaking here a little bit, but you can see a Facebook application. It's currently being built by partners of us who is using this SDK. This is a very complicated system, very complicated game with back office, stock images, a lot of data, and you can see some sound and see how it runs on all devices. No recoding optimization needed in order to do that. We've done that automatically in the system, so you don't need to load or have procedural loading. We know how to do that for you, and the system does that. Take a look for a second. And the second part, which is not less important, and I think is one of the things that makes this application run as smooth as you just saw, is the performance. So we needed to compile to native. And by native, I just don't mean just APK or Xcode in iOS. I mean native to, for example, to Facebook, and native to smart TVs, which each one of them has his own native language, which he can accept. For example, in Facebook, you can get up to Unity, SWF, which is Flash. But let's say I would like to have Facebook desktop and Facebook mobile at the same time. So I can use that natively. So when I'm publishing a product, it's actually using different APIs automatically based on the system that it's currently running. And this is very important for making things smooth between platforms and make things more appealing for us. So compile to native allows us to have better performances than just using Air or Starling or any other Air-based technology. Just show you a performance test. So it's quite blurry, but if you can see, these two devices are running Gemology, and the others are running Starling Stage 3D technology. I want to rewind it for a second so you can see it again. 20 animations, 4 FPS, approximately 400 of them, and the FPS is still good. The reason is 20, okay. And the reason is that it's actually using everything that the device has to offer. So it's compiled to native, therefore it's like that. IDE, we have a brand new IDE which we are very proud of. It's the second version. It's white. And it's very important. This allows you to build elements on the stage as a product manager and a graphic designer. And I encourage you to check it out. It's very important. It's physics-based, editors, and everything embedded inside. Lastly, we have announcements to make. We have a free version right now that everything that you just saw is for free. So no limitations other than having a splash screen made with Gingee. This is your way to say thank you for us about giving you the product while you're using it to create as many products you like and as many games as you want. So thank you very much. Log on to our website and enjoy it.
Time for some questions. First of all, my question, why Gingee? What's the name mean?
You see this lady over there?
Uh-huh.
You see the redhead? The
Yes.
fact that she's redhead means Gingee in Hebrew. It's like ginger in character. And she's the reason we have a startup, so that's the reason. My wife, hair.
So now we all know, that's good.
Sure.
Second question, stand up on the stage and like on the panel before,
Yeah.
give some examples of some great products that you're proud of that are based on your technology.
Okay, so two things we've done lately which we are very proud of is converting a game, very old game, with 300 megabytes of animations, 120 enemies running on the screen, crazy, complicated game, in 2.5 weeks. This was for us a landmark, not just for us, for our partners as well. And this makes an application limits on the device and not on us. So we are 4% heavy on resources, very lightweight. Unlike other solutions out there, we don't have any optimization, therefore we are very light and we are very proud. So Bamba, which you're probably familiar with already, is our one of the most, and the other one which I just showed there is a very complicated system. This Vineros game is like a crazy, complicated system. It actually takes stocks from the real market right now, play against you, multiplayer with multiple players playing online, and it's enable you to do amazing stuff like competing in real time, 30 seconds, and you need to be the best results ever, while you're making money, of course, on the sun. That's the two products that we are very proud of.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question. I see that all of your SDK now running on the PC, but all of our company is we stack on the Mac. Can we use it?
Sure. Our SDK comes, we didn't mention how many platforms we support, so I'm going to mention how many supports. And the SDK itself is built on, the ID is built on this, this SDK, so it's supporting. We actually have Android, iOS, Amazon, BlackBerry. We have DMG, EXE, which Mac and PC, native, and we have smart TVs like LG and Samsung, Xbox, everything that could run on our system. And we have, of course, the one and only desktop, Facebook, and web. So you can use any computer as long as it's Mac and PC to use it. It's better to keep it.
Okay, also I have just a very direct question.
Sure.
Now we have a city builder game. It's flash based on the social networks, and we now working on to bring this game into the mobile devices. Of course, we chose Unity now, and it's very painful to manage two different teams now. So this is why we're looking so deeply into the geotechnology. And very direct and simple question: are it possible to transfer our game into the geotechnology that will work simultaneously on all of these devices? We can show it to you. I can send the link after this.
I think the responsible answer would be take a look at the code, check it out, see if it's possible, and then give you an answer. About 2D games, 2.5D games, SimCity. I'm coming from this background. I created a Farmville type of game, 3D. Back then it was even #1 in Facebook in 2010, pretty-wise. So I know all about these engines and the Z orders. And we're creating this engine right now in our, Moshe, who just sit here in the panel, is doing that. In 4 months, we're going to actually be able to present a brand new engine who's going to be able to do what you just saw right away. But you don't have to wait for us. So there is other engines out there, open source, that I know of, that big companies like Ubisoft uses and that you can rely on. And converting from Unity directly to us, right now, I guess the answer will be no, not seeing your code. Oh, if you have it flash, no problem. 90% of the process is being done automatically. So the 300 megabytes of a game that just discussed here, named Bamba, that you probably never heard of, is 90% processed by our automatic tools. No handmade And then there is some adjustments related to the UI, which we cannot overcome because some things are built for web, which the mouse is very small and you can get. Some things are built for mobile, which you need bigger buttons, for example. So this is the type of 10% that you need to work on after getting the conversion done.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.